musical, the one that goes back to front. Okay, I promised you the interviews about stepping out. So without any further ado, as they are busy rehearsing at the moment over in Foundation Park, here's the first interview with Tanya and Pippa. So I'm here with Tanya and Pippa. Tanya's directing Stepping Out and Pippa's music director. So let me ask you first, Tanya, why Stepping Out? What's great about directing this show?
Oh, well, I've always wanted to direct a comedy, and this one is a laugh a minute. Very close to my own heart, because I have no coordination whatsoever. So I think I would be just as bad in the classroom situation for a dance class as these people on stage are. And just working with such a talented group of adults, it's a wonderful opportunity, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing it come to life on stage.
Fantastic. And it's, I mean, having watched the rehearsal today, it's a real ensemble piece, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if anybody gets a line wrong, that's it. The whole thread goes out the window. So it is a risky piece to do. But, it's great, because you can see the camaraderie working between the people, the characters interacting, and it's a great feeling in the rehearsal room of the camaraderie, the team spirit. So it's a really great opportunity here.
Wonderful. I can hear them all starting to set up for the more choreography. So let's hope we can carry on with our interview. So Pippa, lots of people, I'm sure, would have seen the film of Stepping Out. So how is this different to that film? Because there wasn't any singing in the film, was there?
No, well, the script is pretty much the same, I think, to the film and the play. We've seen the play recently at
Sonning Mill?
Sonning Mill.
Oh, it's Sonning Mill,
It was on quite recently. We went to see it, and the script is pretty much the same. I think the songs just add emotion, definitely, give the characters a chance to show the emotion and to really get across more about what they're about. So particularly those like Andy, who are very vulnerable, you can really see it in her singing, and it really comes across just in the way that the song is written, and just musically it gives her a chance to really show off her a slightly vulnerable side.
Oh, I see. And how many have you got in the band?
I've got 7 in the band, two keyboards and the usual selection of wind and brass and percussion, which should hopefully bring the show to life.
Absolutely fantastic. So what's been the biggest challenge, Tanya, in getting this on the stage?
Well, most of my Amdram career has been spent actually on the boards rather than from a directing point of view. So it's rather weird suddenly being the bossy one in front, telling everybody what to do when you're so used to being told what to do. Same challenges as ever with any Amdram. You're going to have people dropping out, new cast members coming in, the usual, people going off to exotic places to holiday and not being able to make rehearsals, which is just fine for them. Lucky, lucky people. But then you see them all come together at the end, and that's wonderful. So, you get that point where you think it's never going to come together, and then it does, and everything is absolutely tip-top and just how you envisioned it.
And how's it been with the tap dancing? Presumably, and I know from knowing some of the people that they can already tap dance, so they had to sort of unlearn it, ready to learn it again. Has that been a challenge?
It has been a challenge, because in the main, most of them can tap dance. I'm not going to name anybody, Andrew Smith, but he wasn't the best tapper in the world, so it has been a terrible challenge for him to be able to be a good tapper. And being the only man in the show, in the class, it kind of sticks out a bit like a sore thumb, but he's really mastered it and managed it. And in fact, actually, in one of the final dances, he's right out in the front, so he's got no chance to copy anybody. So it has it has been challenging for a lot of the cast members. But you know what? They just use the 3 T's, and I won't say that on radio because I'm not allowed to use those words. But they certainly grin and look like they're enjoying it.
Fantastic. So Pippa, how much work have you had to do on the singing? Because a lot of these people are primarily actors, aren't they?
They are primarily actors. I think the main issue has been singing and tap dancing at the same time. Because once they start tap dancing, they forget everything they ever learnt about the singing, and once they sing, they can't remember what they're doing with their feet. So this has been the ongoing challenge, and I'm not a dancer. However, I have a very talented daughter who is a dancer, who tells me that the more you practice, the better you get. But we've had great fun, but it's started to come together now, and you can finally see, particularly in the finale, which you can hear a little bit of going on in the background just now, they're really getting it together with the singing and the tapping at the same time, so it's going to be fabulous.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you very much.
How do you love a man who fills you full of doubt? How do you love a man who turns you inside out? disregard. When loving him so easy and losing him so hard.
How do you love a man you know you'll never trust? How do you love a man who turns your hopes to dust? Who loves you in his way, but never plans to stay? You think he would be easy to discard, but loving him is easy. Liking him is hard. How do you love a man you've slowly come to dread? How do you love a man who gets inside your head? Whose taunts will never cease, who never grant you peace, whose every action leaves you slightly scarred. Loving him is easy, leaving him is hard. Loving him, it's not my life's ambition. Loving him, it's a condition. It's not what I do, just who I am. How do you love a man who paints your future black? How do you love a man who cannot love you back? You learn to walk away and love yourself today, but even when the door is locked and barred, loving him is easy. Losing, liking, leaving him is hard.
This is The Sound of Musicals with Bridget Bigger.
And if you've just joined us, it's Bridget here with The Sound of Musicals for the second hour of the show. I'm just playing a couple of interviews that I did last week with the Grimm players who are performing Stepping Out in the week after next. And we just heard one interview with the music director, and that song was from the original London cast recording of Stepping Out. And so we're going to have the second interview. This is with 3 of the cast members, and then I'm going to finish with Stepping Out itself.
So, Claire, you're playing the lead in Stepping Out, Mavis.
That's
Is it a great part?
It's an amazing part, and it's quite frightening because I'm meant to be the dance teacher, and what's really tricky about it is that there's so many funny characters. I have to sort of play the straight woman, and often it's so difficult not to laugh because there's just so many hilarious jokes in it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And what would audiences have seen you in locally?
Previously, I did a play called Crown Matrimonial with Windsor Theatre Guild at the Guildhall in Windsor, and then before that, I hadn't done anything for 7 years. So I've been away. I've been on a hiatus.
Oh wow! Welcome back.
Thank you.
I mean, you're looking incredibly professional, having watched the rehearsal this afternoon.
Thank you.
You know, you're really on top of this part, and you clearly are a dancer.
Well, I would say I have danced, and I did it from a very, very young age, and I tapped until the age of 14. And the last time I tapped was when I was the front end of a pantomime cow, singing Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, and then haven't tapped since then. So when I got the part of the tap teacher, I was like, oh, cripes, this could be a problem. But Anne's been an amazing choreographer and very supportive, and yeah, it's been a blast. I've managed to pick it up, you know, the old muscle memory. there.
Fantastic, that's great. And also standing next to Claire is Jessica and Andrew, husband and wife team, the Smiths.
Indeed, yes.
And just to tell you, Andrew, that the director's been very rude about your tap dancing on a previous interview.
Well, and so she should be. I mean, when I was young, I used to dream of being a competent tap dancer, and I'm still dreaming.
Excellent. Jess, have you tap danced before?
I did many years ago, and then I broke my ankle doing a buffalo step and took a hiatus of about 10 years.
Right.
So this is the first time I've really been tapping properly in a very long time.
Fantastic. So tell us a bit, Jess, and then Andrew, about the part you're playing, because you've both got amazing character parts in Stepping Out.
I'm not very nice. I seem to be... I say what lots of people might think, but don't say. So I put my foot in it right royally several times.
I'm very posh.
Oh, yes, I'm very posh, frightfully what-ho. And, yes, I do seem to say awkward things that you would either have an awkward silence and everybody looks away embarrassed, or they just go, Vera, you know. So I do tend to put my foot in it rather a lot.
Excellent.
But she's quite fun to play.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can see you having a ball with her.
I'm having a blast. I love her. I think she's fab.
Superb. And I love your rubber gloves.
They're cool, aren't
yes,
they?
Yes, they've got lace cuffs.
I have lace cuffs. I love my rubber gloves.
Does she wear them at home, Andrew?
All the time. You can never take them off.
Never take them off.
Never take them off. And Andrew, what about Jeffrey?
Well,
what a character.
Jeffrey, he's great fun, but in a very different way, whereas I think all the other characters in the show are coming to the tap classes as a bit of an escape from their lives. In a way, I think Jeffrey is actually, it's an anchor back to his, which makes him very interesting to play. He's terribly awkward in pretty much every situation, which is very easy for me to do. I think I've kind of understood where he's coming from, but he's very different from the rest of the cast in all kinds of different ways.
Apart from being a man.
Apart from being a man, yes.
Yes, the only man.
The only man, which has made it very interesting, and possibly the only one who has never tapped before.
Right.
So I came from an absolutely standing start, no previous history.
And now you can stand on alternate feet.
That's it, yes.
He's improving a lot.
He is, absolutely.
But, I mean, it's actually quite fun for me as well, because I normally, I'm in the orchestra pit. I mean, this is the first show that I've appeared on the stage for about 4 or 5 years, whereas I've been involved with many, and it's great to be back as part of a cast again.
Yes, rather than turning up at the last minute.
It's a very different experience, and you kind of bond with the whole group all the way through, and it's tremendous.
Fantastic. OK, so the three of you, quick words. Why should an audience come and see Stepping Out at the Desborough Suite in a couple of weeks' time?
Because they will never stop laughing from beginning to end.
OK, feel good. What else do you think?
Because there are so much, there's light and shade, there's so much comedy, but at the same time there are moments where, you know, you feel like you want to have a little cry, and that's what going to the theatre's all about, isn't it? It's about really feeling and going with the emotion, and there's plenty of emotion in this show.
Andrew?
Well, I'd say much the same thing. Hilarious and poignant in equal measure.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
So there we are. That was Claire,